Close meeting in order. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start with the roll call. Mayor Lindsay,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Howell,
Here.
Councilor Crane,
Here.
Councilor Humbert,
Here.
Councilor Weeks.
Here.
We have a quorum. We can proceed.
Hey, if I could please get a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with the deletion of item D. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on to item A. Like open discussion, approve change order to apply base course on additional roads. Director Epler.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. What I'm proposing today is an extension of the project, titled RFP 2024-11. We've contracted with Kite Construction to spread base course to a depth of 6 inches. This equates to about 3 additional miles of road. I've have listed the roads before, the road sections, I should say. All of these areas are areas that are pretty significantly depleted in base course to the point that subgrade material or even bedrock is visible. And I feel we have a good window of opportunity and availability of material and trucks to do these roads. We will be running a fewer number of trucks on these projects than we did on El Camino Real, where we were running as much as, I think our top day was 20 trucks. These areas that we'll be working, it'll just be too congested to run that many trucks. So we're looking at running 6 to 8 trucks on these projects and would like to get started right away.
I have a question.
Yes,
Would
sir.
you explain testing?
Testing is we require a compaction test every 200 tons placed.
What are you testing for?
Compaction to see that the material is compacted to
Okay.
95% maximum dry density.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And this is a budget, we're transferring, this is on an additional spend, this is, we had savings from the efficiency of the process going on and so forth, and we're just looking to spend the rest of that money in the same manner.
Well, see, the original contract and change order number 1 were covered under other contractual services. And that and what had been encumbered for South Angel Fire Road and Aspen Streets left us a little short on other contractual services. So what we've done is we've done a bar from the material line item itself to cover the professional, the contractual services for this.
So, Mr. Mayor, it's not an increase in overall budget.
Yes.
It's a movement between line items for roads.
And that's just 116,000.
Yes.
That's correct.
If there's no other questions or discussion, I would ask Mayor Pro Tem Howell for a motion.
I make a motion to approve change order to apply base course on additional roads.
Second.
Roll call vote on item A. Councilor Crane,
Aye.
Councilor Humbert,
Aye.
Councilor Weeks,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Howell.
Aye.
Pass.
Moving on to item B. Discussion approve Owen Curry to the Comprehensive Plan Committee. I'll just start off by saying I think Owen, his involvement has always been productive, and I would love to see him join that committee.
He'll be staying on, lodger's tax in addition to? Yes.
Manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. I would like to say that I think it is an excellent strategic move to have the chairman of Lodgers Tax on the Comprehensive Plan Committee. Lodgers Tax is becoming one of our larger sources of revenue. And I think to have, the person who's responsible for directing us in the expenditure of that revenue on the comprehensive plan committee makes a lot of sense.
Other questions or discussion? Mayor Pro Tem Hal,
I make a motion to approve adding Owen Curry to the Comprehensive Plan Committee.
Second.
Roll call vote on item B. Mayor Pro Tem Hall,
Aye.
Council Crane,
Aye.
Council Weeks,
Aye.
Council Hubbard,
Aye.
pass.
all right, finally for tonight, item C. I'd like to open discussion to approve task order 2024-04 Allen Fields. Manager, where are you gonna field this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. So one of the things that we are looking to do, one part of our initiative is some improvements at Allen Fields, which include, better parking lot, include, lights for the field, and include, other things like bathrooms, and, maybe a concession stand. And, this is for the engineering work to be done to design that. And we need that engineering work done before our grants can be really taken serious. I mean, without this engineering, we probably won't get much in the way of grants to get this developed. So I think it's a worthwhile investment. And once we have it designed, Rocky and Julie can go to town.
Will the intention be to, basically, as far as the grant money go, that's how far we will go with the projects? In other words, lights will be the priority, bathrooms are expensive, so they may be further down if the grant money's shorter.
So Councilman Crane, I would say that that's really a decision to be made by the council. We'll proceed at the direction you guys give us. I do think that lights will have the biggest impact, especially as far as lodger's tax is concerned, because it'll allow us to have bigger tournaments, which will put more heads in beds. And, you know, like right now, we're paying for porta potties to be out there, and it will suffice, but it doesn't lend itself to the same thing as a permanent bathroom. And again, concessions, I think we're missing out on a potential revenue source by not having concessions at these events. So I think that kind of would be the priority. The parking lot is also a big priority because if the weather's not good, the parking lot's not good.
So in addition to any grants, are we also authorized to spend some lodger's tax on this?
So we could spend lodger's tax on this, but we also have about $600,000 in sports and recs fees that have been accrued over time that are not needed to pay debt service. So we have about 600,000
Okay.
sports and recs fees.
And this is it, fees, clarify that, that's that additional tax, lodger's tax.
Yeah, it's the fee in addition to lodger's tax that lodgers pay.
The 2%.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it goes towards paying debt service, which is, I think we have about 3 years left on the debt service for Allen Fields. And then that money can also be spent on improvements for Allen Fields.
as well as lodger's tax, yeah.
And lodger's tax can be spent as well.
Okay,
And those are all things that before we get down that road, they'll all be brought to the council, and those will be council decisions ultimately, but we need to get the engineering work done.
Right. okay, so, yeah, and I think that tax, as you just said, it sunsets in 2 to 3 years from now.
It does. When the debt service is fulfilled, it technically will sunset then.
Right.
We will have the ability to continue that tax if you so choose, indefinitely, even though we don't have debt service.
We wouldn't have to go back to the voters? Because that was a voter approved tax.
It was originally, I'd have to look at the language.
Okay,
But if y'all wanna go back to the voters, we'd do that, so, but I think the language states that it can
All right.
be extended,
Well,
there are extension
that's
clauses in there.
a later decision.
It's a later decision, but it is something we'll dig into. But again, the engineering work's gonna allow us to figure out the cost of these projects and the scopes and apply for grants, and then what we don't have in grants, we'll use available funds. And if we need more money, then we'll have to look at the other thing about extending that.
I'm certain there's a longer list of things we want than we have money for out of Allen Fields, but what size line are we talking about for water and sewer out there? Has that been
Maybe a
discussed?
standard 6-inch line coming from, Camino Grande, and I don't know the size of the sewer line out there.
It would be, 6 would suffice, but it would more than likely be 8. Not much difference. in
We haven't figured out how many bathrooms are a long-term goal out there for water and sewer services yet, I don't think, have we?
Right, and because there are ADA compliance issues we have to have and so on, and,
Right.
you know, there's different options in the bathrooms, like, you know, I mean, another option would be to just put a tank out there, a holding tank, and then have it pumped every so often. I might save us a little bit of money on taking a sewer line out there, but my guess is we'll want to go ahead and pay the extra money and put a sewer line and have a fully functioning bathroom.
Go back to Mayor Pro Tem's question, the 92,000, I understand that's what's proposed from Tappan, Mahoney. Is that, do we anticipate paying that out of the Sports and Rec?
Sports
Pot of
and Rec,
money, that money will pay Tappan for
Yes,
this
sir.
project,
that'll come out of the Sports and Rec, it won't come out of, lodger's tax
or general fund? Yeah.
or general fund, it's gonna come out of Sports and Rec fees.
Any further discussion?
I make a motion to approve task order 2024-04 Allen Fields.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item C. Mayor Pro Tem Howell,
Aye.
Councilor Crane,
Aye.
Councilor Weeks,
Aye.
Councilor Humbert,
Aye.
pass.
Well, with that, that concludes this meeting is adjourned.